Couple days off for the Bobcats, and they're back in action tonight.
Yeah, you know what? They're looking for that third consecutive win in their third consecutive game against those Grand Prairie Storm, and they look to take all three of them. Matt Schumont has more on tonight's matchup.
Coming into tonight's game, the Bobcats are looking to extend their winning streak to 3 games for the first time this year. However, following Saturday's game, the Cats were hit by the flu bug.
This week we basically had no one at practice. A lot of guys resting up for Thursday, and today I guess it was a little different. A lot of guys came back, but it's been affecting us pretty good.
It's been hitting the team pretty hard, but guys are just trying to get a lot of rest, start eating right, and we're going to be ready to play Thursday.
Now at the midway point of the season, the Border City Bunch sit 8 points out of a playoff spot. Taking it game by game all year, they know they'll have to start putting together some lengthy winning streaks if they want to make the postseason.
We definitely got to go on a run. We've lost too many of those 1-goal games, and it's affecting us. And yeah, we got to make a push for playoffs. We've been playing good hockey these past 2 games, and need to get on a roll the month of December.
We don't really have much margin for error. We're going to have to win a lot of games to even really come close. So it's going to have to be a good push.
After tonight's game, the Bobcats will be on the road for all but 1 game in the month of December, so they know that taking 3 straight against GP will give them momentum heading into next month.
I think it'd be huge for us going into December. I mean, we don't have very many home games, so we're going to need as much momentum as we can.
We don't like Grand Prairie, and they don't really like us, so there's a lot of trash talking that goes around on the ice, so it's going to be good to shut them up Thursday.
Obviously, it means a lot to have that as a confidence builder going forward for sure.
Puck drop for tonight's game is at 7:30. Matt Schumont, Newcap Sports.
All right, thanks a lot, Matt. Let's move on. The Pontiacs are idle tonight, but they'll officially hit the halfway point of their season tomorrow night when they take on the Sherwood Park Crusaders. As Clayton Brown explains, Bonneville is currently in 3rd in their division and are looking for big things in the second half of their season.
It was a September to remember, an October to forget, and a November that showed the Pontiacs are getting back to their pre-October form. It all adds up to 36 points and 3rd place in the North.
I want to take some of the valleys out of our play when it comes to consistency, but I think we've also shown the ability to put together some real quality minutes and play at a high level. We just need to put that together more often.
Broke out of a bit of a slump there. We were on kind of a slide, but I think we came out strong, and you know, we're starting to piece together some wins, so that's good.
Although Bonneville is in striking distance of 1st place, the coaching staff isn't completely happy with the way things have gone.
We've positioned ourselves here early to take a run at things, but we know how tough it's going to be. Certainly not content. We know that we've got some inconsistencies throughout our play, and it's always a thing that you work on in this game.
Once again, there's a logjam in the North Division, leaving little room for error. In the past, the Pontiacs have struggled to create separation in the standings during the second half, but that's a formula they're looking to rewrite.
We've been banged up a little bit, but certainly not as bad as we've been in past years. So the combination of our schedule and combination of hopefully maintaining our health here can help us make sure that in the stretch drive we're playing our best hockey.
Just on the bench and in the dressing room for practice and everything, we gotta make sure that we stick with it and take the days off that we get and use them to heal up and stuff.
In Bonneville, Clayton Brown, Newcap Sports.
The Lloydminster Baker Hughes Bobcats are in the midst of a fairly successful season, sitting in 2nd place in the Dodge Division. But as Emmett Murphy reports, they're still trying to gain some real traction in the AMHL.
Their recent record looks impressive. Just 2 losses in the past 14 games. This past Saturday at home, they had their biggest win of the year, a 7-2 thumping of Sherwood Park.
I don't know, we're just starting to play as a team and passing the puck good, and we're just starting to find the net a little more.
On Sunday, they followed up that win with their worst loss of the year, a 5-2 upending from the league's top team, St. Albert.
I think it was a good team. We were up, and then I think we just took it easy on them and didn't go as hard as we could at them.
I hope the guys take something from that loss, learn something that you just can't let little things like penalties and that kind of thing get you down and determine the outcome of a game like it did on Sunday.
Some of the Cats learned some more valuable lessons this weekend as Austin Hunter and Steve Pashnuk played a pair of games with the Junior A Bobcats.
What was the biggest difference? And everybody says it's the speed and the strength, and And, it's just that learning curve that everybody has to go through.
The Midget AAA's played 2 games this weekend against the Calgary Royals and the league's worst, the Fort Saskatchewan Rangers, who they aren't taking lightly.
You know what? I wouldn't call them a weaker team. Their record shows that they are, but they got a couple key injuries back last week. But as far as, trying new things because I think a team might be weaker, I'm not all about that.
Saturday's game is at 4:15. Sunday's is at 2, both at the Civic Center. Emmett Murphy, Newcap Sports.
The Lloydminster Universal Heat sat atop of the Charger North Division standings all year long. After failing to medal in Medicine Hat earlier this month, the team is learning to play with a renewed focus and intensity to be the top team in the province by year's end. Emmett Murphy has more.
The Heat have played against the best, and they're prepared to do what it takes to be the best.
They've got a clear mindset as far as what they want to accomplish. So from a coach's standpoint, that's makes my job a lot easier.
This past weekend, the Heat dummied the Grand Prairie Storm, outscoring them 17-3 in 2 games. Mason Shaw had 5 points in each of those games.
It was good for some guys to put some points up and get off the schneid. And I guess for myself, I was able to get a couple too.
They tried taking some liberties physically with us, and we made them pay on the scoreboard. And the boys played a real solid game.
Shaw sits second in league scoring. Coach Clague says his skill and the rest of the team's abilities give them a chance to dominate any team, any night.
I mean, I could go on throughout the whole roster. Everybody's improving, but that's what we're going to need to be successful, and that I think is our advantage over some other teams in our league, is that we have some depth and we're not a one-line team.
Clague doesn't think they'll slow down anytime soon either, as their schedule is ensuring they'll keep their focus right until the Christmas break.
Our last 2 games before the end of the break is Maple Leafs and Southside in Edmonton. So 2 of the top teams in the north, along with ourselves. A good test for us.
The Heat host Red Deer Saturday at 1:45 at the Civic Center. Emmett Murphy, Newcap Sports.
Staying with the Universal Heat, they've been on fire this season, thanks in part to a team effort. But it's hard to ignore the play of Mason Shaw. Matt Schumont has more on the team's leading scorer, this week's Superstar Next Door.
I think I started skating when I was 3 or 4 and kind of just had an interest for it. And my dad played hockey, so that's where it all kind of started.
Now in his second year with the Heat, Mason sits second in league scoring with 50 points, compiling 13 goals and 37 assists in 16 games.
I didn't really expect that. I didn't have any intentions of that, but I mean, our team is big believers that team success breeds individual success. So as long as I keep playing strong at both ends of the ice, the points will take care of itself.
He's very unselfish. I think he gets more satisfaction out of setting up a play than he does scoring a goal. And the way he dishes the puck and draws defenders to him, and he's a complete player. He really is. Plays both ends of the rink, and is a real pleasure to coach.
It's a given Mason will be drafted by a WHL club at the upcoming draft. However, he's not thinking too much about it and is just focusing on becoming a better player.
If you just focus on your game, I mean, there's nothing, you can't control that. So, I mean, as long as you're improving as a player, then that's all that matters.
Matt Schumont, Newcap Sports.